Welcome to the EE voicemail. I'm sorry, but the person you've called is not available. Please leave your message after the tone. After you've finished your message, just hang up. Or to hear more options, please press 1.
Oh, hello. This is a message for Kersten, England, the former CEO of Bradford Council. Oh, well, today's hopefully your last day at Bradford Council. So this is a message for Kersten, England, from myself, Mr. Hussain of 20 Primary Way. I'm sure you're fully familiar with who I am, Miss England. And I just wanted to send a quick goodbye message and a farewell message to you. Considering the fact that your role at Bradford Council has primarily involved myself from 2015, I believe that you are the second CEO that I'm now seeing off. Your predecessor, I saw off in April, I believe in 2014, and you were brought on board in 2015 at a time when the council was struggling to deal with myself. And since your tenure at Bradford Council as the chief executive, which has led to my unlawful incarceration, imprisonment, and subsequent the murder of my mother, I just wanted to say the fact that I'm still here, as strong as ever, and you're leaving, considering the abysmal state of childcare services that you've left the council in, and no doubt the adult social care far worse, of which I've been trying to highlight. So I just wanted to give you a send-off message to say goodbye. I'm not going to be crass about the situation. I just want you to know, Miss England, I have always had your mobile number. I could have called you up at any time. I chose not to do so. But the point is that we live in a very connected world. The world is getting smaller and smaller by the day. And, our personal informations, it's all over the internet. You really can't, there's nowhere really to hide, is there, in this modern day and age? Like I said, I've got a lot of details about you. I've got a whole profile about your personal life as well, just like I have done on your predecessors that have had a contact with me, and all your social workers that have had a contact with me. I mean, you should look about how much information I collected about Esther Lee Salaru, from her address, her GCSEs, to her date of birth, to her husband, and everything. Yes, we live in a connected information age, and I'm a child of the information age, and information, as you know, is power. So yes, of course, I wanted to leave you a goodbye message, and to say the fact that you've not heard of the last of me. I am the proverbial son that keeps on returning back, the proverbial son that returns. So I just wanted to basically say goodbye. I've sent you an Eid message yesterday. Well, I've included you in the Eid message that I sent to my GP. You understand fully what the message I'm trying to convey between the lines is. That my mother's now been murdered by you people, and that her ghost will haunt you for the rest of your days. You've murdered my mother, you've murdered my brother, you've murdered my father, you're hounding and persecuting me, harassing me with council tax notices and everything else. You can continue to do this. All you're doing is you're making me much more resilient and stronger in the face of adversity. Miss Kersten, England, I don't want to take too much of your time. I just wanted to give you a farewell message. I think it's only appropriate to do so because the reason that you were brought in from York Council after you had persecuted and hounded my counterpart there, Peter Hofstede, who I'm sure you're fully familiar with in Grandma B, you've actually come to Bradford and done exactly the same thing, trying to say that I'm gone mentally crazy, like you had him sanctioned under the Mental Health Act and classified him as being crazy. You failed to do so because at the pivotal point my mother died or was murdered. So you're leaving Bradford Council today in an absolute shambles. I mean, what I know about yourselves and how you've been dealing with adult social care, nobody really knows about that. But hopefully, God willing, inshallah, one day everybody will find out what horrors you've been committing in adult social care. But you are clearly fully fully in the public news regarding your abysmal handling of childcare services. And I'm reminded of the time when you were giving the select committee your answers, that at the same time my mother in June last year was isolated and alone, and you were persecuting me in the background. So it's just fitting that I think that you should take my message before you go, that I don't forgive and I don't forget, and you can all expect me one day or another. No doubt you can forward this message onto the police for them to verify everything I've said. I've not threatened anybody. I've not said anything unlawful. All I'm doing is simply sending you a message to state the fact that I've always had your mobile number. I could have rang you up at any time. I chose not to do so. Today is your last day at work, and I just wanted to wish you farewell. But this is not the end of the matter. My mother has been murdered, and I'm going to spend the rest of my years and the rest of my life trying to bring justice for my brother Nazim Hussain, who was murdered before yourself coming over. That was your predecessors, under your predecessors' watch in 2014. And then subsequently yourself have now overseen my own mother's murder, and obviously my conviction. So Miss England, I just wanted to say these last few words that, goodbye, and you've not heard the last of me. Goodbye. So that was a message to Kersten England, a farewell message, just to show that I do care, and I have always been here whilst other people come and go. Her predecessor, whose name escapes me right now, Terry Rooney, I think, left and went to Liverpool, and yes, she was brought in at a time when the council was struggling to deal with me, considering the fact that in 2015 my brother had been murdered, and I was looking to prosecute or pursue the local authority for this. So Kersten England, who had previously worked at the council, was brought in, and I've seen her over the 8 years. I've seen seen her off after all the tyranny and the persecution that I've suffered at her hands, personally being isolated and victimized and persecuted, where me and my family are being terrorized by her. Now that she's leaving, no doubt there'll be a new number 2, and I'll have to see them off as well, just as in the prisoner series. I keep on seeing off all these number 2s that are hounding and persecuting me until the day that I myself become number 1. So that's it. I just wanted to leave that quick message with her on her mobile phone, just to make sure. I'm going to upload this and send it via email to her, so she has a copy of this. And if she wants to forward it on to anybody, she can forward it on to whoever she likes. At the end of the day, my mother's been murdered, my brother's been murdered, my father's been murdered, and these people think that they're going to hide behind the corporate veils and the position of authority to continue to vilify and persecute me. Not acceptable at all. So this is the last message to Kersten.